What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be diving back into the Pauper Challenge event, but this time with some Rat Colony. Obviously, the last time I played Pauper, or maybe the time before that, I played a Rat Colony deck, but I believe it was Dimir. So this time I figured I would switch it up, try a Rat Colony deck with a color combination that not a lot of people think of, or not a lot of people try to do. So we're going to be running Orzhov Rat Colony today in Pauper. So yeah, another really quick deck tech or deck breakdown today, and then we'll hop right into the game. So starting us off here, we have two Adamant Wills. Now I've decided to split this with Justiciar's Portal. Reason being is Justiciar Portal is okay if they're going to I don't know, exile or destroy your rats or whatever, you know, something like that. It's great for that. Obviously it's going to exile and bring them right back. However, it's not so good if you want to combat trick your opponent, or if you want to actually be able to win an engagement. Now, given your creature first strike is obviously good, but it doesn't guarantee that they'll live. So I found adding Adamant Will as a split for Justiciar's Portal works out pretty well at keeping your rats alive. Now, it's not super important that you keep them alive with this deck, as we are playing Orzhov, which is known for its ability to bring creatures back from the dead, but we'll get on to that in just a minute. We do have 4 copies of Revitalize. Now, I thought heavily about this and whether or not it was actually worth it, and I do believe so, because once you hit 4 mana with any Rat Colony deck, obviously you can cast out a Revitalize, gain the 3 life, and potentially draw out another Rat Colony and play it. So, super cheap card, and for the fact of it giving you 3 life, 12 life total, if you manage to play all 4 Revitalize, can just be huge, especially against mirror matchups, or what's the deck I'm thinking of? Mono white flyers or mono white weenies. Obviously those decks hit, and they hit very hard and very fast, so Revitalize helps keep you in the game with your Rat Colonies. So moving us right along, we have 4 copies of Abnormal Endurance. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0, which occasionally you'll be able to combat trick them for the maybe not victory. If you do, it'll be a very circumstantial situation, but this will help, again, keep your rats alive, or rather help trade them off against some of your opponent's creatures, because obviously they're going to be blocking your rat colonies. They're not just going to let you swing in with a bunch of big ass rats. So when they do, you'll throw this out on your rat, obviously, and then when it kills whatever creature it was going to kill, obviously it'll just return back to the battlefield. So cool little combat trick there. Moving on, we have 2 Invoke the Divines, just in case any Luminous Bonds, or what's the new one now? Law Mage's Binding, anything like that sort of comes down, or just a good enchantment from our opponent. So found running 2 copies does help out here, as this is still a very heavy enchantment meta, even though we're only playing with common cards. There's still a lot of good common enchantments out there. So moving us right along, we have 3 copies of Dead Revels. Now, dealing the damage sometimes can be tricky, but if you know that you're about to get back 2 rat cards, you know you can swing in a little bit heavier and sacrifice some out just to get in that damage, just to get them right back. So Dead Revels, I found, works pretty well in the deck. Moving on, we have 2 copies of Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Now, some people may be questioning this and saying, oh, it doesn't really help your rats at all, it doesn't help your end game. True, but it does keep you alive. 1, it does deal constant ticking damage to your opponent, which sometimes in a Rat Colony deck, you just have these standstills, right? You don't want to sacrifice your rats and make them all weaker, and they don't just want to throw a bunch of bigger creatures into a bunch of 2 mana cost rats. So sometimes you'll have this standstill. Ill-Gotten Inheritance really helps to push you ahead in those instances, as well as being able to pay 6 life, and you can just sometimes, very rarely, this helps bridge that gap when you're just so close with rats, you know, but your opponent starts coming back and you're like, oh man, what am I going to do? Sacrifice your Ill-Gotten Inheritance, deals 4 damage to them immediately, and you gain 4 life. Gaining the 4 life is, you know, whatever, but dealing the 4 damage as a quick little clutch play can definitely benefit you. So that'll be it for the deck tech or the deck breakdown. Now, I don't think this is the best Rat Colony deck to be taken into Pauper. Let me go ahead and preface us playing this with that. But I wanted to try something different, like I said, and I've yet to see an Orzhov Rat Colony deck, so you guys know I love pushing the boundaries and seeing what I can do with an old idea but putting a new twist on it. So here we are. We do already have 2 wins in this. You guys know I like to test out a deck sort of before I show it to you guys, and I'm like, yeah, you should try this deck out, because obviously I don't want to give you guys a deck that's just going to go 0-2 every single time. So yeah, we're up 2-0, and we're going to hop right into the games. Now, I doubt that I'll be doing any editing with this video either, like I did with the last one, how I just sort of, went straight into the matches. Reason being is, obviously, these matches get queued up very quickly, and the matches tend to go very quick. This isn't honestly that great, because we don't have anything that we can actually play, no creatures, no way to use our Revitalize. But starting out with three sources of swamps is good, so we'll only need 1 more mana to go ahead and get out the Ill-Gotten Inheritance. There's a plane, so we can cast Revitalize on his turn. Go ahead and bolster us up a little bit. Looks like our opponent's also playing Orzhov. Child of Night will respond with a Revitalize. And we did manage to draw out a Rat Colony there, so that's good. And another one there, so we'll go ahead and play down 1 copy. Next turn we can probably swing in with a Rat Colony and play Abnormal Endurance on him to return him back to the field, as well as playing our 2nd copy of Rat Colony. So hopefully he doesn't have any removal for our little furry friend here. Obviously we're not going to take the damage there. Him healing it up to 2 is really unfortunate for us, but it also means now that he will definitely not have... Okay, I take that back. I was going to say he won't have a way to defend against our Rat Colony, but he will indeed, actually. So yeah, let's go ahead and throw down Rat Colony. That's tricky because she has Vigilance and all that, so we're going to have to make the sacrifice either way. Obviously he's going to, sacrifice his Oligarch for our Rat, and then we'll Abnormal Endurance our Rat so he can come right back. The shitty thing is his Imperious Oligarch, I don't know why I keep wanting to read that backwards, does have Afterlife, so he'll be spawning in a Spirit, which is obviously a great blocker for a Rat Colony deck. But we'll just have to see. We may go ahead and throw down Ill-Gotten Inheritance next turn, just to start poking him out away from this this little standstill point. If he wants to swing in with both, by all means, I'll let him. I doubt it. He'll probably swing in with the Child of Night. Yeah. To which we'll say, no blocks. We would rather get up a big board and be able to swing in. I'm fine with him gaining the 2 life. He's going to gain it regardless. And us going down to 19, or 18 rather here, isn't too big of a deal. So we did draw another Ill-Gotten Inheritance, so I'll go ahead and throw 1 copy down. And I'm not going to swing it with the Rat Colonies. I'd rather just keep them. Just save them. I know it seems a little bit odd to be playing a Rat Colony deck a little bit slower, but, you know, it's how this deck works, so it's okay. Epicure of Blood is going to be great for him. Probably swing in with the Child of Night if I had to guess about it. And the Child of Night? No, just his flyers. Okay. Just seemed a little bit odd him doing that. Now we can go ahead and Revitalize and see if we can draw out another Rat Colony to where we can swing in and he won't be able to block with his Epicure of Blood. However, I'm going to go ahead and throw down another copy of Ill-Gotten Inheritance. This will help slow down the flyers on his board dealing so much damage to us, as well as it'll start ticking away at him. So Orzhov flyers, that's interesting. And I like the little combination there he has with Grasping Thrall and Epicure of Blood. I actually didn't know Epicure of Blood was a common. That's really crazy. We might have to try something out with that tomorrow. Alright, so Ill-Gotten Inheritance will take him down for 2 more there. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to really invoke the Divine on except for our own stuff, so that is super unfortunate. We can go ahead and swing in with both Rat Colonies, but the chances that he'll block one and not give a rat's ass, no pun intended, about the other is very likely. But we also can't just keep sitting here hemorrhaging damage, so we got to do something. So we'll swing in. Like I said, he'll probably block with the Child of Night, leave his Epicure alone, take the 4 damage to the face, because he's still at 20 health, you know. So that's fine. 22 health, I'm sorry. I miscalculated. Somehow simple math still eludes my my spectrum. Empire Neonut. Okay, so he's just going a straight up life gain deck with Epicure of Blood. That's kind of interesting. The fact that he just keeps drawing into more creatures is really shitty for us, actually. Because we're obviously not. We've drawn 3 copies of Rat Colony so far. Out of 18, that's pretty shitty. We're getting really, really flooded. Which I did reduce the lands down to 23. But obviously, still might be a little too many. We could sacrifice one of the ill-gotten inheritances here. Play down another Rat Colony. I think this game is a loss, though. I don't think we have any way around him that I can think of, at least. Not within the time limit that we have. Sure, maybe if we can get out, you know, all of our Rat Colonies, then we'd be able to overpower him. But considering he's going to be dealing 6 damage every turn, which gives us 2 turns, I don't really see it. If we swing in with Rat Colony here, he's going to block with Bishop Soldier. Maybe take the other 4 again, you know, because he doesn't really have to worry about it. Either way, we're going to go down another tick, down to 9, so just bringing us that much closer to death. And again, blocking with Bishop Soldier, taking the hit from the Rat Colony. Unless he has some kind of instant spell he can play here to buff up Bishop Soldier maybe, but he'd have to buff him 3. And for 2 mana, I don't know any white-black spells that do that. Final payment, okay. Was he going to sacrifice his Bishop Soldier? No, he just paid the 5 life. Okay. Well, that is really unfortunate that we're just getting dominated out in this first game, but that's okay. That's how it goes. You guys know, normally I'll find a good deck for these events, and then as soon as I go to show them to you guys, I'll go like 1 and 2, end up going 3 and 2 overall. That's alright. So yeah, he's going to swing in with everything here. Probably tap the Vampire Neonate. We're going to be very close to death, by the way. He can swing in with his Epicure of Blood, too. If he wants to just wipe my board. No. Snubborn Sentry. Yeah. His deck is sort of all over the place, but I guess it works just because he's playing some of the better common cards. Alright, so we'll go back up to 4 here, or 5, I'm sorry. We can sacrifice one of the ill-gotten inheritance, we'll go back up to 9. Which really looks like our only course of action, so. He's down to 11, we're up to 9. Can he finish us? He's got to be able to finish us, right? He has 6 in the air. 3, 4, 2 on the land. Yeah, he has lethal. That's unfortunate, but looks like we are going to end up losing this one. So we'll go ahead and throw out the GG. All he has to do is swing in with all of his creatures and he will win. And even if he doesn't and we manage to keep, you know, edging life out here and there, probably wouldn't last much past that. So we'll go ahead and hop into another one. As I said, these games don't take very long. It's kind of why I enjoy doing the videos, especially whenever I have work on days like today where I got up at like 7 o'clock in the morning and haven't been back to bed since. So yeah, you can probably expect that this will be a shorter video. Most of the time when I'm just like, yeah, this is a jank deck full out, you guys can probably tell that I'm a little bit more tired and I'm not so worried about how I'm playing or any of that. It's just like, you know, I enjoy playing the game and I enjoy recording, so getting out a video every day can be stressful sometimes, but a lot of times it's a good way to just be an outlet. Starting out with the Goblin Instigator is actually really scary for us, right? Because we're playing a bunch of Rat Colony decks, and Rat Colonies, I'm sorry, in this deck, and there's already 2 ways to kill, you know, 2 Rat Colonies very, very easily. Now, granted, if he just straight up attack trades, it's a terrible idea for him, but since he's playing red and black, he probably has some shock or something like that. You know, I don't think, unless he has another creature, I don't think that was the best course of action. Death Bloom. Okay, that's fair enough. We can kill his Death Bloom and get our Rat Colony back. Or we can just do a wall of Rat Colonies. Nonetheless, he's going to attack all in next turn, which is 5 damage. We're going down to 13. regardless. Okay, so let's just get all of our rat colonies out, and next turn we'll do some of the combat tricks. I'll swing in with everybody. If that's all he swings in with, I'm perfectly fine with that. But he should swing in with his Death Bloom. Alright. Gladly take the 2 damage. I guess he just didn't want to get into a race. But yeah, especially since he has a Goblin Instigator, he should have swung in 100% with his Death Bloom there. I think that was a mistake. So, yeah. Okay, we're going to go ahead and attack with 1. We'll play one of our combat tricks, probably Abnormal Endurance, as we do have 2 copies of it. Now, getting rid of 1 token is not that great, but otherwise he's just going to keep piling them, keep attacking, so we've got to do something. He's probably got some kind of removal here, maybe. Bedevil's not common, I don't think. Get the point? I don't know if get the point's common or not. Again, swinging in with everyone. And believe it or not, these little, 1 ticks of damage that he's doing are starting to add up, so we are going to have to be a little bit careful. Another Death Bloom. Another rat colony. Swing in with all of them. He defends and kills 2. We're only dealing 5 damage. I'm just going to save my combat tricks. Save them up. I'm waiting to see if he has some kind of removal. Just more Goblin Instigators. Wow. Drawn 3 in the first, what, 5, 8, 10, 12. He's drawn 3 Goblin Instigators in his first 12 cards. Now, normally that wouldn't be good, but up against us, it's perfectly fine. Wow, he didn't attack. That's actually crazy. I mean, if he wants to let us build, we'll build. We'll build the rats. Probably has some removal. Maybe just drew into some. Yeah, I'm trying to save my combat tricks, my survival for the rats for his removal, as he should have some in Rakdos, right? He should have Skewer the Critics or a Shock, Act of Treason. That actually doesn't really help us here. That's 7 damage. We're down to 6. Next turn we'll have 5 rat colonies, all swinging in for 6/6. He has 2 defenders. We'll have 3 swinging in for 6/6. Ooh, I think I have lethal next turn. No blocks. Hit me in the face. I think I may have lethal with my combat tricks, dealing the 4 extra damage. My turn, so we get Rat Colony back. We get another copy of Rat Colony, but I don't think I'm going to play it. Well, let's see. Play a Rat Colony. I have 3 people that can get through with 7/7. That's lethal. Okay, we'll try it. That should be lethal. We can block 2. 3 get through. It's 21 damage. I just don't want him playing an instant card right here, but whatever. We'll make sure one of our rat colonies survives. Nope, that's going to be GG. Alrighty, so game 2 we are able to pick up the victory. Yeah, those Goblin Instigators were actually kind of scary for us. The fact that he chose not to attack on that second to last turn, I think it was Super beneficial for us, because he could have had lethal then, right then, when he played the active treason and all that, making me not have lethal. But he couldn't have known that. He couldn't have known into the future, so nonetheless, we'll get on into a game 3. And I'd almost be willing to bet that this will be a loss. Not because the deck is just like, eh, but, which it is, just sort of, you know, mediocre. But because we're at the 3-2 mark, and you guys know on these events, that is my infamous marker, 3-2. Starting out pretty strong with cards in hand, although Invoke the Divine could quickly become pointless. Dead. All the cheap removal on rats just comes out so easily. Whatever. We have a Dead Revel, so if we're able to swing in, get a little bit of damage, which I'm sure at some point damage will be dealt to him. Yeah, like on our next turn. Then we can Dead Revels and get our rat back, and I say we go ahead and do it, right? Let's attack him. Even though we're only getting 1 rat back, I think saving and holding out and all that is just, it's pointless. Like, play quick, you're playing a rat colony deck, so either your opponent has an answer or they don't. Doesn't mean you play dumb, but you can play quicker. So yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and throw down the rat colony and get to swinging in. Ill-Gotten Inheritance is going to help him a ton with just sort of keeping up with all the damage we're dealing to him. Although we can Invoke the Divine on it, so I guess it's not really a big deal. Figuring up his mana here. We're kind of getting mana screwed compared to him. We're at 3 and he's at 5. That's okay. Another Divination's coming out for him. Ill-Gotten Inheritance, Divinations. This guy's playing a crazy deck. Looks like he's trying to play still a control, like Dimir Control, but in Pauper, which is odd. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just odd. Most people that come to Pauper are just playing really aggressive decks, really quick decks that they can, ooh. Okay, this is really difficult. Do we Rat Colony and swing in for the 8, which is lethal in 2 turns, obviously. Or do we Invoke the Divine so he stops healing? I think the Rat Colony's stronger. I want to Invoke the Divine because I feel like whatever 1 blue mana, I don't know. I just feel like he has a counter. No way he's about to let himself take 8 damage, right? There it is. The Fungal Infection, kill 1, and it blocks the other one. Yeah, so he's just going for a Dimir control deck, which is super unfortunate for us. But it is what it is. We could have Invoked the Divine there to play it safe, but eventually his Fungal Infection would have came out on us, so that's alright. Another copy of Ill-Gotten Inheritance coming down for him. Alright, so yeah, let's just go ahead and kill one of them. Unless he has a counter spell here, which he could, probably does, blink of an eye. Sure. We don't get to gain the life. He has to pay the mana to play it back down. I'm not sure he really cares though, seeing as how he is playing such a slow game. Maybe his whole idea is just to kill someone with Ill-Gotten Inheritance. That'd actually be kind of cool, right? Alright, so I see your Ill-Gotten. I'll play my own. So now some of that health that he gains, we'll just be swapping it back and forth. So on my turn, I'll deal 1 to him, and I'll be the one at 16. Sweet. What are we looking for? Another Dead Revels? Be pretty good. Obviously more rat colonies would be fantastic. Probably has some counterplay here, yeah. Probably has some counterplay here. Let's just swing in. Let's just take our damage. We can Revitalize on his turn. That's the beautiful thing about it. There's no need to be in a rush. Now, Revitalizing on his turn could end up not paying out for us, if that makes sense. Blink of an eye. Yeah, I mean, we'll go ahead and Revitalize. It doesn't change anything really, except, I mean, I guess for his mana, but seeing as how that was the card he was waiting to play, I'm not too concerned about it. And I gotta say, his deck's not fantastic. It's just fucking annoying. So, yeah. Do 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 do. Oh, nice. Actually, probably should have used Justiciar's Portal there, as Abnormal Endurance is a combat trick, so that would have been a little bit better to save in case we could use it to end game, obviously. Okay, you got some more counter spells in there for me? Yeah, there it is. There it is. So that's cool. I'm so glad cards like Essence Scatter are commons. So glad. Actually, now that I look at it, Fungal Infection is a tier 1 card. Or, okay, depending on the deck it is. And but all the cards that I'm about to list have been played in top tier decks and are also all commons, and that's literally every card in his graveyard except for Lich's Caress. All of these cards have been in top tier decks, except for Lich's Caress, of course, and they're all commons, which is fucking crazy, right? That Dimir has that many just playable cards straight up. It's alright though. I'm gonna show him the beauty of our graveyard rats here. Unless he counters it, of course. I forgot to mention that. Oh, this is so fun. And most of the time in Pauper, you don't you don't have to worry about this. But considering my luck, I do. I gotta still battle against a goddamn counterspell deck, even in Pauper. Fucking wonderful. This is the place where I'm supposed to be able to play my memes and my janks freely, damn it. Alright. No? You just got counterspells? That's all that exists in your fucking deck? Is counterspells and ill-gotten inheritance? I would play mine out, but like honestly, if he kills me with ill-gotten inheritance at this point, I'll probably just be happy that the game's fucking over. The only reason I don't concede is because I don't want to go 3-2 if I can help it. Wonderful. But let me show you something real quick. Right? Oh. Right. Fuck you, buddy. Counter that. Oh, okay. You're still such a bitch. You're playing a 5 mana cost. Fucking removal. Oh. Alrighty, well, you know, it's the same move we've been making for the entirety of the game, so why not just keep at it? And again, I'm not worried about his ill-gotten inheritances. If they manage to kill me, if he pulls out a victory from strictly countering me and using ill-gotten inheritance, hats off to him. You managed to be the most annoying guy that I've ever met on the internet. Counter? Counter. That's a counter. Come on, just play it. Yep, there it is. Alrighty, so we'll swing in. Oh wait, let's go ahead and deal the damage. I'm about to count and see how many counters he's already used on us. But first I wanted to go ahead and let it be his turn. Essence Scatter, Devious Cover, and Syncopate. So actually Blink of the Eye isn't really a counter spell, but it might as well be just as fucking annoying. Removal? Is that it? Or is that a counter spell? Counter spell? Because he draws something to play every single turn. Counter spell. Syncopate is what it is. Come on, it's not that hard to do math. I told you. You could tell because he was sitting over here counting all 4 of the lands we had left. Alrighty, you got an answer? If not, next turn is not lethal because you have ill-gotten inheritance, and I keep seeming to forget that. That's alright. Opt. Wonderful. Get yourself another counter spell out here, or some more removal. This game just wouldn't be fun without it. Is that removal? Oh no, that's counter. Ooh, that's lethal, but he's got a counter in hand. Garen goddamn teed. Let's see. Counter? Oh, I knew it. Alright. I mean, there's no need in wasting our other abnormal endurance, right? Just dealing the 2 extra damage isn't going to bring him any closer to lethal, is it? 6, he heals 2, he's still at 6, so that's still lethal next turn. He'll probably sacrifice an ill-gotten inheritance, actually. I didn't think about that. Sacrifice 1 here, sacrifice 1 on his turn. Okay, yeah, so he did it. He managed to counter us out and beat us with only ill-gotten inheritance. It's possible, guys. You can be that big of a dick in this game. Nice. Alright, so we are going to go 3-2, as always. Thanks to, this guy. The only reason I don't understand decks like that is, like, is it fun just passing your turn and then waiting for me to play something that you can counter? Do people actually get enjoyment out of that? And I'm not asking to be, like, sarcastic, because I know a lot of the questions I ask are rhetorical or sarcastic as hell. But as an honest question, do you guys enjoy countering people's shit just to, like, hell, I don't know, dude. Like, what is the enjoyment there? Because the only reason I see to play control decks is if you're trying, you know, to play competitively, you're trying to play seriously. And obviously that guy's deck would not stack up very well against anything that wasn't Rat Colony. But is there a reason behind control other than just the singular idea of it being good enough in the meta to be played as a meta deck, you know? Or I guess the question I'm asking is, what is the appeal of control to people? Like, what's the appeal of just countering spells all game, and then just winning slowly but surely, like something like that? Because it seems very mind-numbing, right? Just, I got a counter in hand, I guess I'll wait for my opponent's turn. He played something, counter. Drew a counter in hand, well, I guess I'll wait for my opponent's turn and counter. Got a counter in hand, right? That's essentially what happened. He countered us five turns, blink of an eye twice, and had 4 or 5 removal. It just seems like a very I don't know. I play counter decks, or actually I can't remember the last counter deck I played besides my persistent petitioners, which not counting that, not counting the quenches in there or whatever that needed to be played. And like I said, if you play a deck that needs it, sure, but clearly that was a deck solely built around it. So I'm asking, what is the enjoyment of building a counter only deck, or, you know, counter focused decks like that, I guess is what I'm asking. Nonetheless, if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed seeing me get my ass kicked for 2 games and come out with 1 victory, be sure to leave a like down below and a comment in the comment section, of course, for any future suggestions on decks, suggestions on past decks, future decks, whatever, this deck. You guys know the drill by now. And then, of course, if you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe. It does help me out, and we're reaching for 1,000. Hopefully I can get it. I definitely think we'll get there before the end of the year, but I'm hoping to get it maybe before summer, before August, something like that. Yeah, and then, of course, as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.